I have a bunch of things. I'll try to be quick. First of all, it's great to be back, and it's a little different, but it's great. And I want to thank, I see both our local media outlets in Mississippi. They're both here tonight, and I want to thank them for being out there. Obviously, recently has not been as bad, but that first year especially, being out there helping the town, help the community as a vital link of communication and forums for information and discussion. So thank you to our local media. I want to also, again, acknowledge the work done by Megan House. That really is an accomplishment that anybody who's ever been involved realizes the amount of work. Although I think it said 80 hours required, I think she mentioned she put in 120 or 130, and I wouldn't be surprised if it probably was a lot more than that. So again, congratulations. A couple things were mentioned by the public real quick. For anybody ever wondering about a application site plan that's been approved either by zoning or planning, respective parts of it that they get involved with, those meetings are archived on our township website. I think the woman who was here earlier asking about a particular project on Cedar Grove isn't here, but any member of the public, you do need to know what meeting. There's agendas on our website of every meeting, at least for the last several years. So if you're ever wondering whether you like a plan or not, or wondering the details, you can always go back and watch. They get a little long and technical, but that's something we put into play many years ago. I think Mayor Kramer, myself, and a few others were instrumental in getting that. So hopefully the public can utilize that if they have any questions about how a project came to be. I just want to make sure everybody was aware of that. The other mention, I think Ms. Saba, there was a few people from the public. The only other one I'm going to reference now is Ms. Saba, who lives in my ward and I know is a dedicated servant of the community and especially in the areas of the environment and quality of life. We had a discussion about a lot of issues going on in town and are in the process of sharing information. She's already started, and I told her I'd be sharing information with her concerning the different options that we could do, not just through energy aggregation, but other options to curtail our use of fossil fuels and try to, in a practical manner, utilize as much renewable energy as possible. But I look forward to that, her commitment and the ongoing discussion relevant to that. Real quickly, Councilman Wright mentioned one of his pet peeves or projects that he's going to focus on this year, and I look forward to that, as him and I represent the most densely populated and probably most heavily traveled part of Franklin Township, being Ward 4 and 5, and I've been picking away at it for years, a lot with the help of Mr. Vaughnlocker and others. I know Carl and other council people have, but I look forward to joining him and really making this the year, now that we're kind of out of somewhat of the things that bogged us down with COVID, and get extremely proactive, because we want our streets safe in every way, especially as it has to do with, unfortunately, what is a lot of accidents and a lot of reckless driving of sorts. So I look forward to helping implement some of those initiatives he was talking about, and some others we've been mulling around for years. Real quickly, I had the honor, and it truly was an honor, to go to baseball opening day. Our Little League is starting its 70th baseball season, 70th. I believe they're the longest running, continuously running program, athletic program in the township. And both our media outlets were there. We were honored to have Sparky Lyle, who ironically was a pitching hero for anybody who knows baseball. The same 1970s, the same time I was pitching on the fields of our Little League. So it was quite an honor for myself, truly, and for all the people who came out there. So please support that in any way. And then if you know any youth interested in playing, please, they have spring and fall baseball. So a couple more things and I'll wrap up here. referencing the meeting Councilwoman Udine talked about, our manager might have a few more of the details, but something I wanted to mention that came up in our Public Works, we're getting a little seedling, and although it's a small little planting, whatever you want to call it, it's part of a tree, or from a tree that's 600 years old, a giant oak, I believe it was, in Salem County. We're calling it the Salem Oak, but we're going to be planting it and keeping it well protected, and hopefully when we're long gone, that might reach a 600-year threshold, and our manager perhaps will speak a little bit about that. But that's his efforts and the Shade Tree Commission are going to make that happen, and I look forward to that. It would be symbolic, but also there out by the old schoolhouse, so hopefully people will notice it, and it will be a positive part of our municipal complex here. The gazebo lights were talked about, the pollinator garden, so you're going to see a lot of upgrades to that area out there. I mean, it's beautiful now, but we're tweaking it with some lighting so that when we have events, it's safe to kind of get in and out. In the evening, if it's dark and the event ends, we're working on some lighting, and it's really turning into the gazebo. I think, I remember maybe 5-6 years ago, was talked about and imagined by the group that brought it in this council, who were very supportive at the time. So that, and I think there's some info about a pump station in the southern part of the township. Councilman Vassanella will talk about. And the main thing we did is we've got the data back for that road survey, which we have a company now that is doing complete high-tech reviews of every street in our town, and we've talked about it before. Well, we just started delving into that. It's a great program, it's a great resource. It's showing us we got a little bit to catch up on, and we're going to go back to the drawing board with that information, which really changes dramatically our capability to predict and foresee information. You know, we always collected information, but now we have even more, which will help us, I'm going to say, get back up to date where we need to with that. So we'll be bringing that forward in upcoming public work meetings as we get a consensus on the list of streets and other public work upgrades we're going to do. I noticed on the list, I'll mention one, Puzzett Street is getting a long-awaited paving after, I believe, years of infrastructure below ground being upgraded, and we're awarding a contract for that to finally be paved. It's a major street that connects Hamilton and 27 there, so I know the folks down there will look forward to getting that done. And I believe that's it. Thank you, Mayor, and I look forward to being back in this room in a couple of weeks from now. Thank you.